This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live once again on this Sunday afternoon to give you guys the latest and the greatest Counterpunch Boxing News. Okay, so I know I've been hearing things about Floyd, Money Mayweather. Okay, and we're going to talk a lot about that, along with other possible fights that are to come, other things that may possibly happen. And let's get to it. Agent Smith, welcome to Counterpunch Silver. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the support. Gone over to the membership tab. Look at all the special content I have for my members. And again, I salute you, Agent Smith. Glenn Hootie, or Huddle, right? 2 losses in a row. Mama Lou, Del Boy always makes me laugh. Can't believe he'll be 41 in December. Yes, he will be 41. He is in the age of, it's a countdown to middle age after that point. Believe me, I would know that. Yeah, he'll be 41 pretty soon. And the question about Del Boy, because this is what this live stream is mostly about, he claims that American fighters don't have the dog in them. And shout out to Skrilla50 in the building. He is the one that inspired me to do this live stream, because this was a video that I did recently on my channel. So, it is what it is. All right. Who else do we have here? Big Boss 51. Stop hating on the Wilder, bro. Stop hating on Wilder. Big Boss 51. I don't get what you mean. Who's hating on Wilder? I don't know what particular I don't know where that comes from. Who's hating on Wilder? I'm not hating on Deontay Wilder. In fact, I miss Deontay Wilder. I don't know what you're talking about. That's my Lennox Lewis voice. I don't know what you're talking about. You always got pressure for Wilder. Loreco Perez, yo, what's up, Kurt and crew? Much respect. Loreco in the building. You guys hit that like button as you guys come in, please. Whenever you walk into anybody's house, you gotta wipe your feet. That's how I call it. You always got pressure for Wilder. No, in fact, I don't. I think that's your perception of how you think I have for Wilder. I don't have that. Not at all. In fact, I'm one of the guys that's lobbying for him to fight someone unlike a Zhang, someone that is actually low in opposition so he can get his confidence back. He needs to know, then he needs to learn how to land that punch, and he needs to know that punch is still there. And that's something that we don't even know to this day that Wilder has. We don't know if Wilder has his power anymore because he hasn't hit anyone with authority. And if the people that he's hit, maybe Zhang is like this wall. Okay, he's a big wall, There's the LDBC mentality syndrome. Marcy D in the building. Yeah, I think that's it. I think you can't say anything about Deontay Wilder, and I never seen a bunch of people so defensive over one fighter in my life. I have never seen anybody like that. And Wilder, is a fighter like other fighters. I guess you're only as good as your entourage or your fan base, but I think at the same time that's the only thing that's the other thing that makes you bad. Wilder never leaned it clean on Zhang. He hit Zhang in the chin, he hit Zhang in the forehead. Normally when you catch anyone in the chin or the forehead, that's 2 parts. Right? This is your chin. This is your forehead, So a lot of times I think that's what you run into. King Grayson in the building. Counterpunch to you. Counterpunch to everybody in the chat. Counterpunch to this Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I feel good to be out here. It's 2 o'clock. I know it's not as hottest, but it is hot. Look at that. Wilder is just one skinny timber, too skinny, don't have power. Here's the thing, Nature Stones. This is what I don't like. It's a lot of people are over defensive of Wilder. But then again, it doesn't mean you should allow people that are over defensive to then lash out at Wilder. I think that's what happens in situations like this. Is it Mehul Maharaj? Love from Trinidad and Tobago. Kurt, counterpunch to you, Mehul in the building. Mohammed Rehan. Wilder has power. I want to see it. I want to see if he still has it. You know? What up, homie? KD, love, bro. Airzism in the building. What's up, my brother? Thank you for coming on. I agree with Chisora, but for different reasons. They are asking low-risk fights over and over again. Shakur fighting 2 opponents, coming off 2 losses back-to-back. Well, Shakur, I think Shakur is doing what Shakur has learned to do. You know, he's only signing a 2-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. Okay, so that's what that is. You know, Fury lost to MMA fighter. All bad. I imagine a few of the modern boxers train with the intensity of Marvin Hagler. Floyd did. Muhammad Ali did. And, you know, these are 2 different time zones, time frames. Evander Holyfield trained like the Dickens. Roy Jones Jr., I think, was athletically astute, more talented athletically than probably any fighter in the last 30 years. I don't know how he trained, though, honestly. You know, we just know, you know, Roy was just this specimen that was able to do things physically that other people couldn't do. Great one-punch power in the right hand, in the straight right. Yeah, we're talking about Wilder. Stephen Southwick. Wilder had power and may still have it, but I don't think his heart is in it now. I think a lot of what you mean your heart, I mean maybe his brain, maybe his mindset. You know, I think he's distracted. I think Deontay Wilder is a guy that's not really focused on what he should be focused on. You know, I know that. Like, if you have a profession and you're doing something and you're good at doing something and then something personally happens to you, you know, that's a distraction. You know, you have to honestly ask yourself how much of that distraction can become a hindrance to you. You know, and I think that happened to Wilder. You know, now on top of the Wilder overall should be training more, should be learning more, should be practicing more on good and basic fundamentals. You know, I think a lot of that had a lot to do with the distractions that he had. Okay. Wilder's wife played a big part of the second half of his career. I think so. Because if you can remember last year, what we know now about last year, even though she showed up at that Days of Reckoning, she was with him in the Days of Reckoning. But earlier in that year, they had went through some stuff. They were into it. So we heard that from Podcast Abroad. I've heard that, and I was told that personally from a close source. I mean, a very close source of the Wilder family, that's what was going on in that situation. And what collaborated the story of what I was told was the fact that other people that were also close to Wilder was saying the same thing. Kurt, do you not think these fighters are avoiding the big fights? The public negotiations between Ennis and Norman teams are embarrassing, just like the fight. You know what? I'm actually going to make a video about Norman and Ennis. And according to that, if you guys don't know, Ennis is I think he is 26-0 with 20 knockouts. You know, he's an undefeated fighter. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, okay? And they offered Ennis the fight, and they said no. And you got to ask yourself, why was that turned down? Well, think about it. Politically, what has Ennis recently done? Ennis has recently signed with Eddie Hearn, right? He recently signed with Eddie Hearn. He knows the big money's there. He recently had a good crowd showing in his hometown in Philly, you know, and I think what it is with fights like that, that could be a banana peel for him. With some people, psychedelics can actually help, though. With some, but then who's to say it helped with Wilder? You know, the question is, why would he need psychedelics? You know, a guy that's supposed to eat clean, a guy that's supposed to, you know, do the things that he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? He doesn't, you haven't heard of Wilder really abusing his body. Yeah, you heard of weed once upon a time a few years ago and a gun in LA, which is kind of stupid because, you know, weed is legal in LA, but guns are not, you know, like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Yeah, guns. People don't care. The cop pull you over, you got a gun. Nobody cares about that down here. They could care less if you have a pistol. You know what I mean? If a cop pulls me over, okay, and he sees, well, what do you got? Oh, I got this little, little pocket shot on me, 7-shot. You know, is it loaded? You know, yeah. We'll unchamber it and take the clip out. That's pretty much all you're going to get. You're not going to get, where did you get the gun? Where you see it? Put your hands behind. No, it's not going to be like that. You know, Glenn Hoodle. Kurt, keep up the great live streams. Appreciate you, brother. Absolutely. Appreciate you. So, no, I just don't think that's a big deal. You know, states and Americas. I was talking to a good friend about that last night. You know, shout out to Virgin in the building. And we're talking about like how states are different with different laws. And I was like, well, look, listen, you know, I always call them the separated states of America, not America overall, because America has, each state has something different. You can't go to Atlanta and then go to California and expect the same thing. You're not going to get it. Okay. You can be in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. You have to have a helmet riding a motorcycle. Well, you can ride it helmetless in Rhode Island. Okay. Stop making excuses for Wilder. Whenever he stepped up opposition, he lost. Wilder has never won a top 10 in his career. In this era, he has to be the most overrated fighter in history. I wouldn't say he's the most overrated. I think he was the most highly sensitive. You know, some just get lazy after they get rich. Some people do. Maybe that was Wilder, maybe it wasn't. But I can tell you, Luis Ortiz in his prime would have upset a lot of people. If we know what we know now about Luis Ortiz, yes, he's old as dirt. But I can tell you, I can promise you, if Luis Ortiz went in there and he fought someone like Chisora 6 years ago, I'm talking about 6 years. I don't mean now, because I don't think he has any punch resistance now. But if he fought, if Luis Ortiz fought Dillian White, that would probably be a mega fight. Why? Like Andy Ruiz. Andy didn't want any of them 4 years ago. He just fought him a couple years ago because he found out, like everyone else did, that Luis Ortiz has no punch resistance left. When Charles Martin just caught him with a jab and he fell, that's all Andy needed to know. Andy and his daddy. Próximo pelea. Next fight. That's what he says. Kurt, salute from Dallas. Michael Buckland in the building. D-Town in the building. Hopefully I'll be there next week working. Let's claim it. Ortiz would KO White. He probably would. Think about Ortiz. Ortiz is an aggressive southpaw counterpuncher. So he'll take a shot to throw and land his own. And what was Ortiz known for? The heavy right hook and the left uppercut, or the right uppercut. And we all know what Dillian White can't take them shots. He just can't take it. He never could. I don't care how good Dillian White was. I don't care if this was 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024. It doesn't matter. Dillian White cannot take uppercuts, and we all know that. We all know that. Why didn't Ortiz fight Klitschko? Well, he didn't fight Klitschko because Klitschko, for one, he retired. Okay. So when he retired, that was it. But I think in 2017, he had a choice to fight Anthony Joshua in Wembley or fight Luis Ortiz. But understand, Luis Ortiz lost that strap because he got tested positive. He popped dirty for something. Hi, Kurt. Glad you just getting in the chat. Let me hear what you are saying, brother. Tyrone Swabby, counterpunch to you. Meet me for coffee at Starbucks, talk boxing. Michael Buckland, why not? I don't drink coffee. I drink a water with lemon. You know, I'm not a coffee guy. But sure, Klitschko ducked Ortiz. Klitschko just had a choice. He had a choice. He was the WBA at the time. He was the WBA champion at the time. And then Luis Ortiz was the WBA mandatory. But the problem was Luis Ortiz ended up popping dirty. When he popped dirty, they stripped him from the ranks. Okay? So you can't say he ducked him, just like they tried to say that Anthony Joshua ducked him. And I think that's really more debatable than Vladimir Klitschko, to be, you know, to keep it real with you guys. You know, because you guys don't, do you guys know that Luis Ortiz was signed to Matchroom? Did you guys know that? Hold on, let's do this. Let's make it simple. Let's do this before we start on the main topic. Okay, just started a poll. Okay, just started a poll. So check that out. And Klitschko in 2015, even Parker, when both were champions. People say Wilder overrated, but to be honest, for the past 10 to 15 years, the heavyweight division was overrated. Well, I mean, it really wasn't a lot of people that was worth mentioning in the heavyweight division. See, who did we really have? By that time, the last 15 years, 15 years, we're going back to 2008, 2007. Virgil Ortiz has the dog in him. Bam Rodriguez broke his jaw in the 4th round and went the full 12 and won every round ever complained. User 2427. You know, those are some great points. And a lot of people look at Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is American, bro. He's from Texas. That's American. You know what I'm saying? So when Derek Chisora saying those type of things, he's mentioning those type of guys that made those type of sacrifices. You know, Bam Rodriguez. You know what I mean? But no, back to the heavyweight division back then. Who do we have? Lamont Brewster, Brian Jennings. Who else? Who else do we have? Samuel Peter, and Samuel Peter's not American. You know, but that's who we had, you know, hard-hitting Samuel Peter, Nigerian fighter, very hard, heavy-handed fighter. We had James Toney, which really wasn't, you know, a true heavyweight, you know what I mean? Even though he did stop guys like Evander Holyfield when he was but old, okay? But understand this, that he didn't even have the punching power. Look how Ortiz was able to hurt Tyson Fury and, you know, and stop Danny Dubois and, you know, all this stuff. Well, James Toney couldn't even do that. His punches, sure, he was a good counter puncher, but his counter punches didn't really mean anything. They didn't do enough to keep these fighters back. They didn't respect his punching power. If you go watch, if you got time, go watch James Toney versus Samuel Peters. And we will see how Peters walked through those shots to get his own shots back. Those type of shots that James Toney took from Samuel Peters, a much bigger fighter, a natural heavyweight, a heavy-handed heavyweight, a very heavy-handed heavyweight. Those are the reasons, those punches are the reason why James Toney talks the way he talks right now. I don't think he got that damage when he was a middleweight. You couldn't hit him like that when he was super middleweight. You couldn't hit him like that when he was light heavyweight. You couldn't really hit him like that. He didn't start sustaining that damage until he went to heavyweight, and he started getting hit from shots that he had no business taking because he was not a heavyweight. He was not that way. He was not a heavyweight. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. It's That's why he talked shit at everybody, because he made the sacrifice and it affected his what? Livelihood. Anytime anytime you talk like that, that means your brain has been affected. And I'm not joking. That's no joking matter. But if you listen to James Toney, you can obviously see James Toney has sustained a whole lot of damage. And I think that has came from fighting bigger guys. Riddick Bowe also very punch drunk. Yeah. Evander Holyfield is, but he's not so much. He's not as bad. Even Roy Jones, even Sugar Shane, these guys. And look, who are we talking about? Roy Jones, Sugar Shane, Riddick Bowe, James Toney. What do all these guys got in common? What do they all got in common? They're all American fighters. To say, oh, they don't have no dog in them. Well, shit, they sure as hell had enough dog in them to take punishment. In the sport that we love, that we hate so much, right? Come on now. Let's see. American fighters as a whole don't lake the dog in them, but at least not in the past. But I blame the Mayweather effect on why they didn't want to fight the best. Well, Mayweather, here's the thing. Mayweather's the poster child for people that doesn't have to fight people. He fights people that he feels that makes him the most money. He's a businessman. He is the idea. He is the poster child of a businessman. He doesn't want to fight fights that are tough anymore. He's done it though. You know, here's the thing. Floyd Money Mayweather is a hypocrite of his older self. He's a hypocrite because he did everything contrary to what he used to do. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be Floyd Money Mayweather, and especially in the, like, look at Tank Davis. Tank Davis may not can stand Floyd now. It doesn't matter because he's still running the Floyd model. He's still bringing those smaller fighters up and knocking them out senseless. You know what I mean? Guys like Leo Santa Cruz. He had no business fighting Leo Santa Cruz. He was bigger than him at the time. Okay? Now he had a problem at 140. The reason why, because he started understanding that these shots hurt. They're not like fighting little Leo Santa Cruz. Fighting Mario Barrios is not like fighting Leo Santa Cruz. Those are two different guys. Two different sizes. The worst version of Wilder was against Fury, the second fight, or the one that fought Zhang. Well, let me tell you something about the one that fought. If you want to break that down for Wilder for a second. The Wilder that fought Fury in the rematch was 232 pounds or something like that, 231. So he was about 9 pounds heavier than he really supposed to be. His sweet spot is about 218, 220. Okay, versus the one that fought Zhang was 214 pounds. You know what that represents? I know what that represents. That represents stress. That represents anxiety. That represents someone that is going through something. That's the Wilder that fought Zhang. That Wilder that fought Zhang, 213 pounds, that's way too small. That man's skinny because he ain't eating right. That's what that is. And I know that for a fact because when I was stressed all out because some chick that didn't want me or stressed me all out or whatever, that's what I did. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep right, and I couldn't think or focus anything right. I couldn't do any of those things. Any of those things. And I got skinny. I went from like 230 to like 198. Yeah, 198. I was a cruiserweight. So I went from a heavyweight to a cruiserweight. That's why I see. Okay, wait a minute. Wilder? Wilder stressed out. So the difference between that guy is Wilder in the second fight with Fury, yeah, he was overweight, but he was full of confidence. He thought that one hand was going to land. So he decided to gain a little weight because it actually helped him in the second Luis Ortiz fight when he caught him with that one shot, and that's all she wrote. And he knocked out Luis Ortiz. Okay, he thought that was going to help him in the Tyson Fury fight. He didn't know Tyson Fury was actually coming to fight with the Crunk style with Sugar Hill Stewart by way of Emmanuel Stewart. Okay, so he didn't know that Fury was coming at him like that. He didn't know that. He didn't expect that. But that's exactly what happened. Those are the difference between those two guys. One stressed out, weak, undernourished Wilder, heartbroken Wilder, versus an overweight fighter that was too full of himself. Those are the two Wilders. Counterpunch. Well, he dared to be great. He gave his all to the sport. Who is he? Tom return to don't sound too good. No, he don't. I mean, understand, he was in a different era. Come on, the hitman? What do you call it? Why do you think they call him the hitman? James Toney always had bad speech. No, he did not. If you look at James Toney, look at him in 1994. Look at him in 2000. Look at him when he stopped even Evander Holyfield. I think that was like 2003 or 4. He didn't sound like he sounds now. That shit is deteriorated. Go back, do your research. Mike Tyson got that dog in him. Mike Tyson got that dog in him. Listen, when you're getting your ass whooped, what do you do? That's the question. When you get your ass whooped, what do you do? Shakur is talking about today's American fighters, not a few eras like Tony. Counterpunch. I get it had the same problem, went from super middleweight to welterweight and looked like shit. James Toney, that's who you were talking about at the time. All right, let's look at this. See, look at this. We're looking at, I'm looking at the stats, and I'm just letting people vote. You guys, you 56 guys on, hit the like button, okay, for one. For 2, vote, okay? Because I'm asking that for a very good question. Because somebody brought up Luis Ortiz, you know, and his history and who he was signed with. Everybody just thinks he was this guy that was a part of Al Heyman's crew. But we're going to talk about that. Let's keep voting. Let's keep voting. Hit that like button. Usyk would have KO'd Wilder. And see, here's the thing. Now, really, who cares? Who cares if Usyk would have KO'd Wilder or not? Because Usyk's already, well, for one, Wilder's already been KO'd. Not many boxers today in weight like we had in the 80s and 90s. Gerald McClellan, Julian Jackson, Chris Eubank Sr., Nigel Benn, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Prince Hassim. Yeah, let's hit that like button. Let's go. I mean, we don't get notifications no more. Thousands of subscribers, no notifications. What's the point? What's the point? You know? Because like sometimes I just feel like making another channel just for a fresh channel, because it's like I see channels that are smaller and I see people online, and it makes you think like, okay, YouTube, you're deciding to do your job somewhere at some times with some channels, and you just don't do it here. So I guess the like button, I guess that's why, you know, people hit the like button. That encourages YouTube to do their job. I guess it does. I guess it does. You know, I guess you got to hit a certain amount of likes versus the amount of people on that sends more notifications out. Like, I guess they do it in shifts or whatever. Okay, you've made it here, let's go here, and you've made it there, let's send more out there. I mean, that's stupid. You know, if you are subscribed to a channel and you've hit that bell icon, that means you should get each and every live stream. It shouldn't just be someone you're online and just happen to run up on me and, hey, I see you're live. It shouldn't be that way. Okay. Wilder got his title shot from winning Malik Scott, and many say that was a dive. Wilder fought one top 50 in 32 fights and still gets a title. That is corruption. Mohammed Rehan, you know what that is? That's called protection. And the protection is actually corruption. Okay? Because he was protected. But everybody, look, and here's the thing. People blame who? Who do people blame for that? Kurt, what's the update on Luis Ortiz? I have no idea. I know the last time he fought in like Colombia. He fought in Colombia. Beterbiev, Inouye, Plant, Usyk, Spence, Fury, Canelo, Loma, Chisora, all have that dog in them. Yeah, you know what? Talking about Artur Beterbiev for a minute. This guy was fighting Marcus Brown, and he got one of those cuts like similar to Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu got that dog in him. Oh, Tim Tszyu? Tim Tszyu has that dog in him. Oh, yeah. No doubt. Oh, Tim Tszyu has a dog in him. You know? Chisora trying to fight his friend Tony Bellew in December. Tony don't want to fight Derek Chisora. He shut that shit down. He ain't fighting Derek Chisora. Let me tell you something about Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew's good. Tony Bellew, he's an actor now. Showtime Porter had that dog in him. Shout out to Sean, Showtime Porter. Showtime Porter had that dog in him. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, he did. Oh, he had the dog. He had the double dog. Kurt, Luis Ortiz versus Derek Chisora next would be interesting. Not really. Derek Chisora has more. Derek Chisora has a better chance based on his punch resistance. Derek Chisora can still take a punch. You can still knock him out, though. Understand that. Derek Chisora can get knocked out. We've seen it. You know, he got knocked out in the second fight with Dillian White. Okay? But no, he would fight him. It would still be dangerous because the power's the last to go. Anybody that used to box, don't let them hit you. I don't care where their chin is, but here's the whole idea. Your chin is only valid when you get hit. It's like having a shield in a fight. If you got a knife, you still got a battle, or you still got a chance, right? Just like a puncher. He still has a puncher's chance. Just because he don't have a chin or his punch resistance gone, sure, once he get hit, but what if he hits you? What if he hits you in that area, in that pressure point, in that temple, in that nose, in that chin? What if he catches you like that and drops you? Bow! You're going to do the same shit. Yeah, Timothy Bradley made me respect him when he fought Ruslan Pravandakov, the retired Russian fighter. Had the little arms. He was out on his feet. He had a concussion in the second round fighting that dude. But he's stuck in there. Usyk versus Wilder and Fury versus AJ would have been the best heavyweight matches up this era. Yeah, but things happen. Things happen, people. You know, Wilder's supposed to fight Joshua. You know, I blame Wilder for that. Wilder should have took that damn money. He should have took the 12. I would have took the 12. They offered him 15. He should have took the 15. They offered him 100, and after that, see, this is what happened with Wilder. Wilder complained, he barked, he pissed, he moaned, right? He was really outspoken, you know, and his whole narrative was, Joshua's afraid of me. But at the same time, the promotional company, the promoter of Joshua, was sending him opportunities. But the opportunities went from 12.5, which was slave wages, then to 15 million, which was okay, but then no, it ain't okay. And then it was 100 million. So what was the deal? Wilder was getting increases off the more he talked. So he was like, shit, I'm going to keep talking then. I'm going to keep blasting this boy, keep talking shit about Wilder. I'm going to be his nemesis because I want to be what Joshua is on my side of the pond in the States. I want a Wembley. I want to feel Texas Stadium like Anthony Joshua felt Wembley. That's what he wanted. And all he could do was talk. That's all he needed to do. Kurt, Ortiz should have competed in the Klitschko era. He was around at that time. Klitschko was around. I'm going to explain everything to you guys. We're not even in the main topic yet. I'm still trying to get 100 people in here before we start talking about that. But when 46 votes, we're looking at 46 votes right now. And I'm looking at these numbers, and these numbers are alarming because it's what people don't know about Luis Ortiz and his career. Kurt, who wins? Prime Luis Ortiz versus Vitali Klitschko. Ooh, I don't know, because that would be a war anyway. Because see, I would want to say Vitali, but then ask me a question about Vladimir. I think Vladimir would have been beaten by him. Why? Because Luis Ortiz was 6'4". So he wasn't that small guy. He didn't have a small frame. And really, Luis Ortiz actually is a big husky guy. He's husky. When he was younger, he was husky and he could move. Wilder held the belt that would have made him undisputed. Or are you saying he should have took the money that Usyk was offered by Fury? No, what I'm saying is he should have took the money that Eddie offered him, because he didn't make that money anyway. He didn't make any of that shit. You know. He didn't make any of that. He's never made that amount of money that they offered him. You know? I think Ortiz would beat Vladimir, because I don't think Vladimir has problems with pressure. So when you apply pressure to Vladimir, that's where that jab and grab comes from, because he doesn't know how to defensively keep himself, in a fight. He grabs. When in doubt, he grabs. He likes to keep you back so he can think about what he needs to do. Once you crowd his space, once you pressure him, that's the problem with Vlad. Vlad doesn't like that. He doesn't like that at all. Kurt Wilder was offered a smaller slice. He wanted a smaller slice as Usyk wanted off of Fury. Here's the thing, St. Don. He already had agreed to it. See, Usyk didn't play that bullshit with like Wilder did. He said, "I'll take that 35%." But understand this too. This is before the Wilder and Joshua was before this. Hey, let me give you guys a flat rate or give you what I feel I should give you type shit. See, that shit had to sell. That's what the piece was. It was 35% versus or 30% versus 70%, wasn't it not? Or something like that, or was it 25? I can't remember what it was now. I know it was a small amount, and whatever the fight produced, that's what the fighter would get, because there was no guarantees. See, once they left Saudi Arabia, all the flat rate shit ended between Tyson and Usyk, and then they went to Wembley, and then whatever they make at Wembley would be. It was a bunch of bullshit, because Tyson Fury didn't accept what they offered him. Skills Challenge offered Tyson Fury a certain amount of number, and he overshot himself. That's why they left. That's why they left right there. It was Tyson, not Usyk. Usyk, they wanted to stay right there in Saudi Arabia and have that damn fight, like they end up doing anyway. But Tyson wanted too much money. And it's a strange thing when people want too much money for fights that's supposed to be easy, fighting little middleweights and, guys like that, and ain't in my era and stuff, no. Vitali was more aggressive than of the two. Yeah, he was. He'll get up on you, and yeah. I wouldn't want to see. Vitali was that big brother. He was that big brother, and he didn't play. Sometimes to make fight, you got to pay up. That's what Joshua should have done to make the fight if he wanted undisputed. Well, Joshua wasn't going to give Wilder anything that he didn't deserve. He didn't deserve that shit. That's why he never got it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the reality of it. Wilder didn't deserve what they even offered him. Even at the time, in 2018, when they offered his ass that 12.5, he didn't deserve that, in my opinion. He didn't get it before. I'm trying to tell you. And then the end of the year, they give him $4 million. He gets $4 million, and Tyson Fury gets $3 million. 4 times 3 is what? 12. So they gave him 3 times as much as his ass ended up getting for Tyson Fury to fight the lineal champion. Come on, bro. That's math. Kurt, you can imagine if Luis Ortiz becomes a heavyweight champion of the world. I don't see that shit happening. I can't imagine that at all. I wanted that to happen. I wanted it to happen for Frank Sanchez, because we talk about, Andy Ruiz. He's the first Mexican heavyweight ever, champion ever. And we have yet to see an a Cuban heavyweight champion. Deserves ain't got nothing to do with it if you want the undisputed badly. Well, I mean, here's the deal. Obviously it does. Because people are not going to just give you something that you don't deserve a lot of times. So yeah, in fact, it is fair if it's based on morals or morality. Like, look, I'm not going to give this sucker a piece of my pocket. No, I'm not doing that. Now I see what you're saying. Well, it ain't your money, Kurt. So who cares what you think? Well, I get that, but at the same time, it ain't his money either because he ain't even make it. Cuban fighters get screwed on the scorecards. Yeah, they do. Curtis Ball, shout out to you. I've seen that. And I was like, okay, well, that ain't right. The Cubans, man, they get messed over a lot. I'm sorry, you don't have any fair-skinned, red-headed Cubans. You know what I mean? Now, and I bet you if someone could find one and they could fight some, oh yeah, they would be promoted to the utmost. Guaranteed. Why? Because they're different. You think Canelo Alvarez would be Canelo Alvarez if he didn't have red hair? No, it's Canelo, meaning cinnamon. He looked different. He was marketable. People liked him. They seen him off site. Oh man, it's Canelo. That's that dude's from Mexico. Red-headed, Opa Taylor looking dude. He can fight though. Oh yeah, that's all you needed. In a powerhouse like Golden Boy, yeah. That's why Fury only offered Usyk 30% because Usyk is fighting in Poland without British or Saudi backing. Okay. Why do they get screwed? They don't speak English and they're not marketable enough. And here's the thing. Maybe 95% of them are not really appealing to the general masses of people. See, here's the thing. So when you have Cuban fighters, what does most Cuban fighters look like? They come from African descent. Luis Ortiz, African descent. Diego Rigondeaux, African descent. Erislandy Lara, African descent. Diobelis Hurtado, African descent. That's basically what you have. Yordenis Ugas, African descent. You know what I mean? And then in all of these fighters that I mentioned, how many of these fighters can speak like I'm speaking right now? Yoel Romero, I mean, yeah, he speaks English, but I mean, still, so these guys are not really self-promotional. You don't really see the true character because unless you speak Spanish, you're not going to know what the hell they're saying. So you just hear a guy with my skin color speaking another language that doesn't appease to you because you don't know what the hell they're saying. So yeah, I mean, that's a problem by itself. Felix Trinidad, he's from Puerto Rico. Don't you think he would have been a lot bigger? Why wouldn't he bigger than Canelo Alvarez? Luis Ortiz reminds me of the Mexican nightmare, Chris Arreola. Both wanted to be the first of their nationality and probably would have been good champs, but ultimately fell short for different reasons. Yeah. Even though Luis Ortiz was more feared, Chris Arreola was a silver Olympian that just, he was in the era of those Klitschkos, and those Klitschkos showed you why those fighters could not deal with them. I mean, you have guys like Manuel Char, Alexander Povetkin, what's the other guy? Kubrat Pulev. You had fighters like that fought in that era of the Klitschkos and got their ass mollywopped. They got mauled. They got beat. That's what happened. And then that's, you were in the dude, they were in the Klitschko era. Those Klitschkos were beating everyone. If it wasn't Vitali, it was Vladimir. If it wasn't Vladimir, it was Vitali. Come on now. Anyone know what happened to Ika Barabucci? Ika Barabucci went to jail for like 25 years. That's what happened to Ika Barabucci. He spent most of his life, his adult life, behind bars. That's what happened. He's like 51 years old. He's in Nigeria right now. He's training. He's knocked off a lot of weight. He's knocked off a lot of that prison fat, you know, because he did get huge in prison. That's what happened to Ika Barabucci. He's trying to make a comeback. Do I recommend it? No, not really. You know, I don't, me personally. I am just curious to see if how far is he going to go with it. But I know he's a legend by his own right because he's 20-0 with 15 KOs, no losses, no draws. Before he lost his mind, he had some mental illness. That's what you call mental illness. Something was mentally wrong with Ika Barabucci. And, you know, he ended up doing things that caused him to be incarcerated, then deported, then arrested again, then incarcerated again. That's what happened to him. Okay? Okay. Psycho Crush in the building. Counterpunch to you. Cuban usually have an unmarketable style to their suited better to the Olympics. Well, I don't think it's more of that. I think, you know, that has a small amount to play with it. Because, I mean, like guys like Luis Ortiz, Yordenis Ugas, they have more of an action style, you know? Kurt, how would prime Luis Ortiz versus Vitali Klitschko would have played out? I think it would have been a war, but I think eventually that's if Vitali didn't get cut. Because we've seen Vitali in a war. You want to see Vitali in a war? Look at the Lennox Lewis fight. Lennox Lewis, okay, Lennox Lewis, guys. Lennox Lewis and Vitali Klitschko were going to war. They went to war. And look, and what happened, it wasn't Vitali's chin. It wasn't his heart. It wasn't his stamina. It wasn't anything to do anything with that. It was his what? Skin. Kurt, how would prime Luis Ortiz versus Vitali? Okay, I already got that one. Did the Klitschko brothers ever fight each other? No, they would never fight each other. They're brothers. Ukrainians are not feeling Wembley at our stupid prices. I hear they're sold out now, though. That was Luis's last fight of his career. Lewis's last fight of his career. Yeah, it was. But he already said it was going to be. So I got to keep reminding people of that. Before we start shitting on Lennox Lewis already said this is going to be my last fight. It wasn't that, hey, I'm going to another fight and pow, 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 pow. Oh, you know what? I think this is going to be my last one. No, he didn't do that. Does Usyk beat Zhang right now? I have no idea. And see, here is the reality of Alexander Usyk. Let me talk about the unified heavyweight champion of the world, right? That was once the undisputed champion of the world. We don't know what Alexander Usyk will do against someone like Zhang. We don't know. Why? Because we don't know if Father Time will slow up enough to affect his performance. We just don't know. Klitschko brothers, who is better behind closed doors if they sparred countless times? I don't know. You know, but one thing about that, I don't think people were there. And especially if you have to think about when the Klitschkos were fighting. The Klitschkos fought between what time? Maybe like 1999 through like early 2000s through, I know Vitali left in maybe 2009 or 10. Kurt, do you remember Ruslan Chagayev? No, I don't. Would beating Zhang and retiring, but him in the top heavyweight decision. I don't know what that means. AJ or Wilder? Well, I mean, it's AJ now. But, I mean, we pretty much seen this coming from Wilder. Wilder's older than AJ. Wilder be 39 this year. Joshua's not even 35 yet. He's 34. So he got 5 years on Joshua. You know? Exactly. Curtis Mall. The Klitschko brothers were basically undisputed between the two. Yes. So, and look, in all fairness, those guys could have sat down and said, you know what? You know, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, that belongs to Vlad. He had those belts for the longest. Then the WBC belonged to who? His brother, Vitali. Martin McCauley on the come up after beating Anderson. I mean, that's how it appears. He's, I'm looking for the next fight. I'm looking for that next challenge. I'm looking for that fight that he claims he wants, not the fight for the guy that just got found out about. You know, that's that. Usyk fighting a fellow southpaw might be tricky for him, especially one that punches like Zhang. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But I mean, again, that's fighting someone like Zhang obviously causes a problem because this guy has shattered Joe Joyce's strong ass juggernaut jaw. He's dropped Joseph Parker twice with shots that that a lot of people don't know. They don't even seem that hard, but you can tell they're heavy. I just want to see how everybody else takes that shit. Honestly. How does everyone else take the punching power of Zhang? Are we going to get a Zhang versus McCauley? I think if they both win, keep winning, we'll get that fight. Because everybody else is fighting everyone else. Dubois, Joshua, Usyk, Fury. Probably after that, after the smoke clears around 2025, we will be looking at the possibility of one of those guys fighting the winners of those guys that won. Kurt, are you going to cover the Danny Garcia fight? Absolutely. Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara. That's a tough one. See, Danny's a tough kid. And see, the thing he's fighting someone, though, that knows how to fight. He knows how to box. He knows how to counter. Lara don't mess around no more. Wilder ain't that guy that, he's not that guy that keeps bouncing around. He doesn't do that no more. He steps and he keeps his guard up and he waits for the counter. And then before you know it, those long 74-inch reach arms will reach out and touch you. Does AJ become undisputed? He could come undisputed. He has to win his next two fights. Because, see, when he beats Dubois, if he beats Dubois, he becomes the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Then it will come back into place. The IBF has done their thing. They have, made Danny Dubois the IBF champion. If he gets stripped from getting knocked out by Joshua, Joshua will then fight the guy with the remaining belts. The guy with the remaining belts are definitely the people. The people are the person that wins. Between Usyk and Tyson Fury. We all know the real IBF champ is Usyk. We all know the undisputed champ is Usyk. Yeah. The IBF, I think who won that fight between him and Tyson Fury? He's lineal. So I think for the sake of argument, he's lineal. Lineal. Jake Paul has a better chance of beating Canelo than Berlanga or Terrence Crawford. Has a better chance of beating Canelo than Berlanga or Crawford does. I hear you. You say that. But then again, it's such an experiment dealing with Crawford. Let's just be real. The experiment with Crawford is, what does he do at 160? What does he do at 168? We've seen what he did at 154 against somebody that was clever, that's somebody that did box him, that didn't really challenge him. He didn't really want to make that a firefight because he knew once he tried that shit with Terrence Crawford was going to catch him with something that he knew he didn't like. In fact, Crawford already caught him with stuff he didn't like. That's why he decided to grab. The first time Crawford opened up, I think it was like the ninth round or the 10th round, when he hit Madrimov grabbed this boy quick. He grabbed him. He grabbed him like Vladimir Klitschko grabs his opponents. When he jabs him and grabs him, he did a jab and grab on him. And he did that because he did not like the way that punch felt from Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford opened up winging those shots. I think Tyson Fury is a joke and embarrassment for boxing. I think Tyson Fury has his own character flaws, but I think he has character overall. That's what I feel about Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury, I've never seen the things that he's done. I've never seen anyone sing after a fight. That was exciting to me. That was new. That was fresh. It was patented, okay? It was patented, definitely. So I honestly don't think that Tyson Fury is bad for boxing. I just think that anybody, if they start smelling themselves and they let their ego get a part of them, they can be worse for everybody. And that's what he did. See, Tyson Fury's ego was supposed to beat Alexander Usyk. His ego let everybody else, his fans, oh man, Usyk ain't gonna beat no Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's too big, he's just gonna maul Usyk. He's just too small. You guys remember that? Come on. Come on. You guys remember that? Kurt, 1 Lenio Beto, 2 Daniel Beto, 3 Herge Ruiz, 4 Carlos Ho Castillo are very good fighters from Cuba. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always have fighters that, and here they will always defect and they will always do well, but they will never exceed, and I just find that sad. That's the problem. That's the problem there. Joshua was a superstar worldwide. Well, was he worldwide though? Was Anthony Joshua really worldwide? Reign here. And I think that's his problem. And I think if Eddie wasn't so apprehensive about Anthony Joshua and so guarded, because now he's guarded. If he wasn't as guarded with Anthony Joshua, he would have sent the Saudi Arabia fight with Andy Ruiz. That shouldn't have never happened in Saudi Arabia. That shit should have happened in the States. Come on. When are you going to start the movie channel? Psycho Crusher. I'm going to start that movie channel the 1st of September. Me and Boxing Wave. Kurt, do you think there will be a Cuban heavyweight champion of the world? When the right fighter defects, it won't be anybody here. Maybe Frank Sanchez, we'll see what he does. I don't know. I think Frank's mad at me. I reached out to him, and I see he's seen the message, because I reach out to him through Facebook Messenger. So he hasn't really responded. So I don't know. I mean, he was doing surgery and all this other stuff. But normally, he responds and we talk a little bit about some stuff. So I'm not sure. But I think as of right now, Frank Sanchez losing to guys like Aguet Caballo, I think he needs to redeem himself. That's if he can. Wilder could have been as big as Tyson Fury if he started boxing earlier. Well, I don't know. I mean, who says that would have been the case? Kurt, Jasura felt Madrimov beat Crawford. Okay. I would say that's rather strange. Why? Because, for one, we all know Derek Chisora, he doesn't like anybody running around. Right? So he doesn't like anybody running around. So since he doesn't like anybody running around, it's like, okay, Why would you respect the way Madrimov fought Terrence Crawford? You know, when Terrence Crawford, decided to up the ante, why did Madrimov up the ante? So who knows? My favorite boxer is Dillian White. Skiller in the building. Counterpunch to you. Cuban fighters tend to be around 5'8" and 5'9" in between featherweight and middleweight. Well, they're all sizes. They're all sizes, man. Both Usyk versus Joshua fights were 1 million pay-per-view buys. Well, I mean, it was a high anticipated fight, and it was a very good fight too. Usyk came in and showed up and showed out. Richard Torres Jr. looks a good prospect for the U.S. Okay, so we got almost 95 votes. We need 5 more votes so we can end that voting streak. So you guys go ahead and vote. Tell me what you think so I can begin that so we can start the main talking points, right? So we got 96 votes. Doesn't AJ average near 1 million buys? Well, it depends. It depends on who he's fighting. I know the rematch with Ruiz, like in Sky Sports when Joshua was still with them, it actually did a lot. Yeah, people vote. Unless everybody on here is voted, and in that case, cool, good for you. But until then, vote. Vote. Please vote. Wilder was not famous in 2018 compared to Usyk on 2021. Well, a lot has changed because, see, by the time Usyk came around, Wilder was already beat. Wilder got beat early 2020. He got beat less than a year after AJ took his first loss. Okay? So, everybody's saying, Wilder was happy that Joshua got beat. Okay, cool. But at the same time, let's see, June to December, then December to February. So 8 months later, Deontay Wilder joined Anthony Joshua in defeat. He lost his belt, he lost his WBC. But by that time, AJ had already got his belts back. So it is what it is. I rewatched Francis versus AJ and forgot how well Francis was doing. He was winning round 1 until AJ knocked him down. He's fighting in MMA in October, but I'd like to see Francis back in boxing. Well, he's done half what Conor McGregor's done. Conor McGregor fought one fight. One fight. That's it. Well, here's the thing. Now he's fighting the second best. And my question is, what makes Joshua the second best heavyweight? See, Joshua hasn't fought Tyson Fury yet. That's why people ask me, well, Tyson's actually the best. I'm like, based on what? See, it don't matter who it is. What matters is, if these fighters haven't fought each other, how would you say one's better than the other? It's too many people that haven't fought each other. And all we know, Tyson Fury might fight Francis Ngannou again. But that just depends, gotta love the trains, guys. You gotta love the trains. Some beautiful weather, though. That's my opinion because I believe in he can beat Fury because he gave Usyk a harder fight than Fury. Well, I mean, those are just different fights. It's like we're talking about these things but at the same time, we don't know until they happen. You know? I don't know why people do that, honestly. J. Roos Theory in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Well, it's crazy, man. All we know is what didn't happen. All we know is fault, the winners, the losers, the controversy, all that stuff. All true because I could see Fury beating AJ well, just based on their recent mentalities, though AJ seems more ready to fight. Well, he's ready to fight whoever he's fighting. Let's see here. Vincent, what's up, guys? Counterpunch to you. There are different arguments. St. Don. Can't hear you. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? What the hell? Testing. Okay, can you hear me on this end? All right. Cool. All right. So, we have 108 votes, okay? Now, let's look at them. Now, that shows you a lot. Now, let's look at the poll. You can still vote while we still look at it. Over 108 votes. People, the question is, did you know Luis Ortiz was signed to Matchroom? Matchroom. And look at this. 22%, only 22% said that they knew Luis Ortiz was signed to Matchroom. 78% did not know that. Kurt, did you see Oscar De La Hoya's new Clapback Thursday video? Yeah, I seen that crap. So I like to dance. So what? I was dancing with my beautiful wife. She's beautiful. And we're dancing. And sure, I was showing my pinga. But that's it. Everyone likes to dance. He was trying to defend that shit. Man, there's no reason you should ever come out like that. And he's sitting out of there. like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Yeah, man, that's crazy. You know? Whitey McCrackerson in the building. Kurt, I won't be back on this channel until the trolls are gone. Alonzo's cooking attorney. Salute. Salute, love the content. Anybody or see Eddie talking to Ward about Garcia failed tests and getting Ward to admit he don't believe he cheated, basically to that he probably took something to lose weight at a couple days before. I mean, even if he took something to lose weight, he's still cheating. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be taking diuretics either. That's still cheating. They are ruining your channel, and I won't be a part of this crap. He said he cheated. Usyk came famous after winning Joshua's in September 2021. How come they agreed 50-50 in 2021 through 22 for Fury versus Usyk? Did you forget? See, he doesn't care. I'm out. What trolls will kick him out? Yeah, I mean, you're asking the wrong people. And okay, here's the word around let's address this. He's claiming that somebody is taking his avatar and making another channel or profile out of it, and they're trolling the channel. You know, and everyone's like, what? Because I don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Because it's like I've received some screenshots, but it's like you can't stop people from making something similar to you. You know, what you could do, you could go to them and, you know, report them if they're doing something. But I don't see anybody doing anything. Now, what I do notice, if I'm on 3 or 4 in the morning, we will get some trolls in that starts talking a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? And you just, you know, and that's annoying because it throws you off, because, you know, this is a channel, you know. But yeah, I don't see it. You can literally block them. No, you can't block anybody. You can't block anyone, you know. And I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. Blocking who? Because you're here, but the guy that you said that was mimicking you or whatever, you know, I don't know. They're tired and drunk at the same time. Okay, so we're about to end this first debate with 116 votes, right? We're ending the poll, and 70% doesn't even know that Luis Ortiz was ever with Eddie Hearn, and the rest do. And that shows you something. That shows you that a lot of people don't know what people have already done. Kurt Usyk became famous after the Bellew fight. Well, I think he got his respect in England because everybody loved Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was the man, you know. And you understand, Tony Bellew became popular his damn self. Yeah, not only he was a badass fighter, he was a good fighter, but he was also, you know, in the new Creed movie that did numbers worldwide. He was the main antagonist in that movie. The original Creed, he was the main antagonist. Yeah, St. Don says, I got about 6 clones on his channel. Yeah, he was talking about you too, man. He's saying like people that was pretending to be you, and like you, St. Don. Matter of fact, it was somebody in the front. But I mean, what can you do about that? What can you do about it? Yeah, Psycho Crusher. Yeah, find the trolls and get rid of them so these guys can chill. You know, but I mean, I guess you can ban them or block them or whatever, you know. That's just like, hey man, that's my car. I got that same car, so you're gonna have to get rid of your car. Yeah, okay. Um, better the clones in real life who my psychologists swear aren't real, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a lot of people that do that. I mean, that's just like I seen a video that a friend sent me this morning, and she was like, "What the hell?" And somebody posted something in a live stream, and it was Kurt. They said, Kurt, you snort coke off toilet seats, and I said, what? You know, and but like someone took that video and just cropped it, and just was like, what did he say? You know, and it was some channel from, you know, I don't give a shit about any of that. Usyk generates money everywhere outside the U.S. It's a ferocious and Luca Mora attack the clone accounts. Wembley sold out because of both Fury and Whites, as White is a bit popular in this country. I guess. The sex bots on the UT comments are more of a problem. That's true. Now now if somebody could help me with that, get rid of those damn things, and I don't know where they came from. And they've just started this year. As soon as I post a video, you got some bullshit from some kind of sex bots or something. I'm like, where did they come from? You know. See, if you got to ask me, how can you message me for proof? I don't know if you're even the real one either. Because the person that I know that was having this problem already messaged me for proof. And they were Whitey McCrackerson. So, you know, that's just like that. Hey, I'm a spammer pretending to be a spam blocker type shit. They're everywhere, Kurt. Nobody can remove them. That's crazy. At least I know I'm not alone. But I can tell you this, guys. I get so many calls from, not like today, like from Monday through Friday. I get calls from everywhere. And it makes me sometimes, it makes me want to go ballistic, you know? Because they're calling and calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. They don't stop calling. Okay, so you know how to message me. So, like, how do I message you for proof? You've already sent me something that someone sent pretending to be you or whatever. But, I mean, like, here's the thing. Unless they're doing something that, like, that is illegal, unlawful. What's the other thing? Harassing. Yeah. What I want to watch is White versus Parker. You want to see White versus Parker? That's already happened. You mean the second time? They've already fought. Dillian White has already fought Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker dropped Dillian White, right? Dillian White has dropped Joseph Parker. It was a good fight, though, because I think Dillian White ran out of gas, but Parker caught him. And Parker's in a better position than all of them right now. He's beat Zane. He's beat Wilder. He's won his last 3 before that. So 5 fights in a row. Joseph Parker's the man. He is the man. Parker seems like a really cool guy, but a very boring fighter to watch. Not really. He'll knock you out too. Caballo's being slept on. Caballo's dangerous, man. You better watch Caballo. Did you watch Victor Ortiz interview on Vlad TV? Very interesting. I didn't. I did not. Mayweather pound for pound. Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm the TBE. I'm the best ever. I'll make more money than all my fighters. That's why my fighters don't get shit. That's why my fighters don't get shit. Because me and Al take all the money. Kurt, Dillian White versus Age Cabello would be interesting. He looked good last night. I mean, Floyd ain't gonna look bad. He's Floyd. He was fighting 15 pounds over his fighting weight. White and Shakur aren't foreigners. They're British. I mean, it depends on where you're at. Calling someone foreign, you know? It depends on where you're at, dude. Come on now. Okay, cool. There we go. YouTube trying to become like TikTok. Kurt versus Jake. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I'd have to knock out Jake Paul. Give me about 5 million. I'll knock out Jake Paul. He say Floyd will beat Pac-Man again. I believe that. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Because Pac-Man, bro, he's not. Pac-Man, I don't think he's the same. I think Jake is into, I don't know what that means. You guys think Canelo of, what do you guys think of the Canelo Berlanga undercard? I like the Danny Garcia-Lara fight, but other than that, I don't give a shit about it, to be fair. What else do we got here? What do we got? Kurt, what do you think of Erislandy Lara versus Danny Garcia? I like the fight. I know Lara's taking that damn fight because he knows Lara's older. Lara's like 41 years old, man. He's old. Jake says he wants Canelo. That's a lot of money to make. I have better BF. Robert Badea. I have better BF beating Bivol. Tank beats Boots at 140 catch weight. Why the hell would Boots fight him at 140? That's so stupid. People are just, I don't know, it's dumb. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard. Oh, Tank beats Boots at 140. You're talking about somebody 6 foot tall that is 147 pounds. More than likely, he has issues. He has problems making that damn weight. But you want him to go down 7 pounds lighter to fight a guy that's at 135 that fought at 140. I don't know, man. Yeah, Boots too big for that shit. You dragging that man to 140. He should beat him. Should beat the hell out of him, too. That's no different from Canelo. Remember he drug Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. down to 164? He had his ass looking like a skeleton. Sad, man. That's just sad. Crawford, Joshua, and Usyk are the most disciplined boxers. I hear you. Floyd said no to Chavez Sr. That's out of control. Kurt, who wins? Danny Dubois versus Dillian White? I don't know. I would like to see it, though. You know? That'd be a good fight, man. Dillian White versus Daniel Dubois. That'd be a real good fight. Dubois beats White. They should never have let Chavez Sr. in the ring to even ask Floyd for a fight. That's just stupid. That's dumb. Quiero pelear contigo. Quiero pelear contigo, Floyd. Yo quiero pelear contigo. En el ring. Por 12 rounds. Por 12 rounds. Por 12 rounds. Yo quiero una pelea contigo. ¿Está listo? ¿Eres listo? Shit out of here. I'm sorry, he's Mexican, right? Mexican. Estoy listo para lo que sea. Estoy listo para la pelea contigo. Floyd Mayweather. I want to see Wilder versus Dubois because I don't think Dubois can block Wilder's right hand. Yeah, I think Wilder would knock out Dubois. I think Wilder would, boom, catch his ass and knock him straight out. Who wins? Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko fantasy matchup. Vitali? Probably Vitali. Kurt, what weight would you box Jake? Heavyweight. He'll fight Mike at heavyweight. He gonna fight me at heavyweight. Ain't fighting that boy. No, I'm a heavyweight. You gotta fight me here. I look like trying to lose weight to fight some young kid. That dude's 26 years. That dude's 26 years old. I could have had Jake. I could have had Jake Paul. Come on, man. Dude's young. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not an old man. I'm a grown-ass man. That's the difference, people. I want to see how Jake Paul fights at 230. I want to see how he can take this shot. That's what I want to see. I've seen a lot of guys like Jake Paul. Jake, get in there. Jake about this tall. You crowd me like that and you'll see what happens. You're going to see a Klitschko performance. You're going to see a bat. You're going to see that so quick. Boo. Yep. You better step in, because as soon as I catch him, I'm going to take him out. Because, see, I don't have all the time in the world to be dancing and prancing. I don't have time like that. See, me, Jake Paul comes in at 220 trying to take on Kurt DeVille. Oh, no, Kurt DeVille ain't going to play with him. Because you're not going to catch me with your right. I'm going to pepper your ass with that jab. I'm going to pepper you until I make you open up. Soon as you open up, I'm going to catch you with the rightest, biggest, hardest punch that you've ever seen. And that's going to put you into the stratosphere. Because when I catch him, oh yeah, it's going to be over. Because I'm going to, when I catch him, I'm going to create an angle. Bap. I'm going to create an angle. And as soon as he acts on that, that's over. I'm going to put him down. And I'm going to breathe. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, give me my check for $3 million, $4 million. Give me $5 million, because I know Uncle Sam's gonna want. Uncle Sam's gonna want too. Do you think Abdullah Mason can beat Tank? I have no idea who that is. Jake about to be able to take Tyson's body shots. I'm edging to this right now. Kurt wins by knockout. Yeah, I'll knock him out. I mean, you'd have to. I mean, because I think Jake Paul's a big, sturdy guy. I think Jake Paul has dabbed with a lot of steroids. I think he cycled off a lot of steroids. And I think a fighter that like him, he doesn't have to be regularly tested simply because that's not his major job profession. So since it's not his main job profession, he can cycle off whatever the hell he was on. This man might be on EPO, GWH 1516, HGH hormones. He could be on clonopine. He could be on clenbuterol. He could be on a whole bunch of stuff. Jake Paul. Jake Paul's chin is down to here. You know, guys like that, that dude been juicing up. That dude been juicing up. That's just like me. Okay, wonderful. I find out I'm going to fight Jake Paul in January. So I go to the urologist and take some TR, some testosterone replacement. Oh, hell yeah, I'll be juiced up too. You know, no, man. Then I cycle off that shit because they're like, okay, well, his levels are normal. Yeah. Be eating oysters and shit? Definitely, man. Definitely. Jake Paul, man, he's fighting someone like Mike. Me personally, I don't want him to hurt Mike. Mike's our legend. I don't want him to fight Mike Tyson, because what if Mike don't knock him out in 1 or 2 rounds, 3 rounds? Mike gonna get tired. Okay? Now, are these rounds 2-minute rounds? Now, if they're 2-minute rounds, they may be a little different, but I don't like that idea of that fight, because I know, again, why Jake Paul's doing it. Like most young kids, they think, oh, man, I whooped that old dude's ass. I mean, it wouldn't be realistic enough to think that unless it was a possibility. And I think the reason why he's doing it is because he knows I'm 26 years old and Mike Tyson's 58. Come on, man. Mike will sleep Jake 2-minute rounds. Good. 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 Yeah, because I don't, yeah, because see, if Jake hurts Mike, bro, everybody in the woodwork gonna come after that mother sucker. Everybody gonna be really ready to kill that dude. If he hurts Mike Tyson, puts Mike Tyson in the hospital or something like that, because Mike get tired or old, or he just looks slow. He don't have the physicalities no more to be able to. No, he has no more of that. Do you think Mike juiced in his prime? No. I think Mike Tyson did drugs in his prime. I don't think that he did performance enhancing drugs at his time. I know Mike Tyson did drugs, recreational drugs in his prime. When he was knocked out by Buster Douglas, he had cocaine in the system. You know why I know he had cocaine in the system? Because him, Michael Jai White's cousin, Bobby Brown, yeah, had a coke and Japanese woman orgy the night before that fight. Okay. So no, Mike was high when he got knocked out. He just did it so long and he did it so much. He was young, and Mike was he was a savage guy, man. He was, that was Mike, man. Mike was just that dude. I don't think Mike Tyson hates anybody. I just think that, he's definitely a guy that has to worry about a lot of stuff. Jake pissed New York off. Bobby Brown is Michael Jai White's cousin. Yeah, that's his cousin. The karate guy. The guy from Spawn, the guy from Why Did I Get Married, the guy from, Blood and Bone. Yeah, that guy. The big ass buffed up guy. Yeah. Michael Jai White. That's Bobby Brown's cousin. This is a fact. That is his cousin. Yeah, they did orgies. Mike Tyson was wild, bro. Mike Tyson, he's from Catskill, New York. Bobby Brown's from Boston. Kurt Jose Larduet is another very good heavyweight prospect. I was in Why Did I Get Married too? Oh, that's a lie? Okay. Look it up, dude. Look it up. Duck Life. Look it up, Duck Life. That's a lie, bro. What's a lie? What am I lying about? I don't think people understand really how wild a life Mike lived. Yeah, Mike Tyson lived a crazy life, man. I don't think people know that either. I don't think they acknowledge, the lifestyle he was a part of. I have your stream on my phone and Hatman's stream on my PC. Oh, Hatman's live right now? Join my Patreon. Hatman, big up. Look familiar? That's Bobby Brown and Michael Jai White. See, Michael Jai White on X. Me and my cousin Bobby Brown tonight. See? Look at that. Michael Jai White. Me and my cousin Bobby Brown. Okay. Keep doubting me, guys. Yeah, he's live right now. And it's crazy. I have more subscribers than him, but I bet you he has like 300 people on his live. And that just lets you know that YouTube doesn't do their job, man. That's what it tells you. We have 39 people here. That's insane. Looks like you and an old crackhead. Okay. Huh? Kurt, how come your phone is so old? Galaxy S Plus. No, this is just a this is not my well, it's my phone, but I just use it as a recorder sometimes. But that's not my personal. Salute Kurt from Romania. OG Percy got 800 people in his live, and he's just sitting here smoking a blunt. Kurt Moses Atoma versus Joseph Parker is in the works next. If it works, then why not? Yeah, I like it because it has a jack in it. You know, like a lot of them now. These Droid phones, they try to be like iPhones. Yeah, I think Riyadh is very good for boxing. Boxing actually happens. Yeah, it's a big step up for Moses, but you know, if he wants to lose that O, well, whatever. AJ versus Dubois. For real, I need that headphone jack for audio streaming. Yeah, man, they stopped making them, and they suck because they don't know the difference between. The only thing you can do, you could probably get the adapter that also has two ends, that has a power cord and has an audio jack cord. You know, and that's how you could probably use them both at the same time. But other than that, you just have that one plug without the jack. But this one actually has, you can plug it in, and that's what I miss about those. You know, that's why I haven't got rid of it. Because a lot of people wanted to buy it or they want you to trade it in. And I'm like, well, why would you want to trade in a phone that no one wants? Someone wants it. You know what I mean? Just not the people that you think want it. I have a Galaxy. I have a Note Galaxy 20. Oh, it's gonna get the 24. Yeah, it's a Galaxy Note. Do you think Ngannou could beat a top 10? I'm not sure. You look like a Wu-Tang Clan member. Ngannou versus Jake. Well, that'd be big. Probably hurt Jake, man. Francis versus Joyce. He'd probably knock out Joe Joyce. I mean, he hits too hard. Kurt, I think Ngannou had the wrong style for Fury. That's why Fury struggled with him. Probably so. Kurt, I heard Samsung is going to bring back the Note. I thought Jake in boxing would have been a one-off. Can't believe he is still doing it. Yeah, but he is. Well, guys, I am about to get off of here. I've enjoyed this live stream this Sunday afternoon, and I will do at least 2 or 3 more this week. So stay tuned for those. Until then, you guys be blessed. Enjoy your Sunday, and everyone has been Counterpunch. Peace.